Yo guys, hello and welcome back to the channel and the first episode of my F126 career mode. I'm super excited to get started, but just before we begin, if you are enjoying the F126 DLC content as much as I am, then please like and subscribe for more F126 content. We've got open lobbies, career mode and my team on the way that you won't want to miss out on. And also, please drop a comment with any feedback or suggestions for what you'd like to see on the channel. Now, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Everyone, hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for joining me at the start of this journey, where we try and become the F1 World Champion. We're going to be starting off in the slowest car, making our way up to the top of the grid inside F126. Just quickly, you'll see in the background right now the setup of the career mode, so please feel free to slow down the video if you want to check out the details. But long story short, 110% AI, simulation damage, strict track limits, and no assists. What could possibly go wrong, eh? We'll be starting in the Aston Martin with the two-time world champion Fernando Alonso as our teammate. And I guess our first goal of the season is to beat our teammate and see if we can either progress the car to a stage where we can either challenge or maybe jump ship and, sign for a different team. Let's not run before we walk, though. We're going to have to establish ourselves in this team first. Got a really good teammate in Fernando Alonso that's got great pedigree in the sport, so it's going to be tough, but stick around and find out. Also, let's be real, if Lance Stroll can keep this seat for so long, then we shouldn't have too many problems. But we move and let's get into practice. There's no messing around. So straight into it then, guys. First practice at the Australian Grand Prix. Like I said in the previous video, if you've watched it, if you haven't, then go check that out after this. Some open lobbies, but yeah, I really enjoy this track actually. Australia is probably one of my better tracks, so really hoping for a good start to this season. Now, don't expect me to do practice for every race, but as you know, if you've played the F1 game, as soon as you start a new career mode, it does just chuck you into practice, like it makes you do the session. But yeah, trying to get some data for this one. And yeah. So yeah, now coming on to the start-finish straight to finish the practice program. Nothing to report really, just trying to push the limits of the track limits, just to see if I can gain some time anywhere. But yeah, no major dramas. So I think we should move into qualifying. Now heading into Q1 at the Australian Grand Prix. Don't have that high hopes for this, but if we can get out of Q1, amazing. If not, no dramas. The AI are normally quite a bit better in qualifying than they are in the race, so points aren't scored on Saturdays. Approaching the end of the first lap in qualifying now, and yeah, we're just looking to get a banker on the board at the moment, see whereabouts we are, and hopefully move on from there. A little bit deep into the penultimate corner, but it's all about the traction on this final corner. I absolutely hate it. I've never really been good at that final corner, but yeah, and we stay last, which it's a great start, but yeah, we can only go higher now. So just coming back into the garage after our first run, maybe tweak the setup and go for another run straight away. But now I don't remember getting front wing damage, so God knows what's happened there. Typical Aston Martin things, I imagine, but looks like we're only going to get one more run in this session, so we got to make it count. So now moving on to the final lap of Q1. And let's go for a full lap of this Australian Grand Prix. So a little bit of boost towards the line. Don't want to use too much as this is a very heavy battery circuit. A little bit of LICO into turn 1, down to 5th gear, keep it within track limits. Bit of a boost on the exit. Hindsight, probably used a little bit too much there, but nice little lift and coast. Down to 3rd gear, make sure you hit the apex, and slowly on the throttle, traction through 4, flat out through 5. Get the straight line mode. Now big lift into here, save a little bit of the battery, clip the apex. Nice and smooth on the exit, now drain the battery. See, now this is where I probably should have saved a little bit from earlier because we're already out. But anyway, lift and coast into the fast, high-speed chicane. Keep it within track limits, straight on straight line mode, and drain the rest of the battery down to the heavy braking zone. A little bit of Lyco, clip the inside curve. Don't want to go too far in because it makes the car jump. Now what you can do is go down into none here, but I chose not to here, and yeah, down to second gear, horrible traction zone again, but keep the car on the road, no back end stepping out this time, and we go over the line, and that is 18th. Not too bad, not too bad. We are out in Q1, but better than the Aston's IRL, isn't it? So can't grumble. But that's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix, guys. Not a bad start to the season. We beat our teammate, not by much, but we still beat him. Sergio Perez with a great drive for Cadillac, getting through, which is crazy stuff. Bottas, Hulkenberg, Gasly, and Bortoletto join us. But yeah, not a bad start to the season. But let's see what we can do in the race, guys.
New day, a new dawn, a new era for Formula One.
So race day at the Australian Grand Prix, and looking at the strategy, the team wants us to go for a 2-stop, but I think we can go for a 1-stop here. So let's take a lot of the fuel out of the car and let's try and change this to a 1-stop. Right, it's not going to let me, but we are going to go for a 1-stop here, guys. Hard to mediums. Let's give it our best go. Let's beat Fernando, and are points on the card? Probably not, but let's give it a go. So first race of the season in Australia here, guys. We've got 5 red lights. And lights out and away we go. And Richards, he gets a pretty poor start off the line, in all honesty. Being swamped up by everyone. We're going to take it easy into turn 1. These races are definitely not won in the first corner or the first lap. Taking it nice and easy here. Let's send it up the inside. We've got Alonso in front of us. A little bit of contact with Gasly on the apex, but it's expected from that one. We hold it around the outside. And so does Gasly, but the inside prevails for us in the end. So, not made any places. We've lost 1. But as you know, it's a long race, and we're straight on the battery here. Bortoletto is looking vulnerable. Battery already flashing. And Alonso as well. Wow, we're going to get double overtake going here. No, we're going to back out and let our teammate on the soft tyres just ease his way into this race here, aren't we?
That's a decent start. Good
job.
No,
we're not. We're gonna go around his outside and take the position from our teammate. A little bit deep, nearly hit the back of the racing balls, but we make it stick. And yeah, now up 1 place from the start, guys. So good start, good start. Now our aims are to just consolidate, build our speed up gradually, and just get through this first stint of the race intact.
We'll get some extra power from the hybrid system now. Use boost on...
Halfway through lap 2 now. We're on the battery. We're looking to try and get this position from Lawson. We swoop to the inside, but he blocks us off. We probably overcorrect a little bit there, lose a bit of momentum, but back on the battery to see if we can make a move. But Lawson, he goes to the outside of Perez, and wow, what an overtake on the outside of the Cadillac there from the Kiwi.
With the new power units
Great
this year,
stuff from the Racing Bulls driver. Now, can
we
we capitalise on that?
Sometimes the fastest way around
Yes, we can. We dive down the inside of Sergio Perez, and what a move, great move. Also on the hard tyre, so really important for strategy there that we got him in front of the Cadillac. And now we can set our eyes back on the Kiwi and try and get him. And George Russell with the fastest lap of the race. On lap 2, a little bit of battery burnt down into turn 1, but there's quite a big train of cars ahead, so a nice little lift and coast into rear.
Okay, so remember,
good exit
though.
Lawson's looking vulnerable. We get on the battery temporarily, but can we go for it down the outside? And ooh, a little bit overzealous on Limblad, so we're going to let him back through. Complete avoidant action there, had to be done. but we give the place back, so no harm, no foul. But we're looking pretty quick in the early stages of this race. Now back on the battery to try and overtake Limlad
Boost
fairly,
mode is
and
available
we do
now.
that nice and easily on the straight. I've completely run out of battery though, so we could be vulnerable in the second stage here to Limblad, but we cover him off nicely. Slight little bounce over the curb, but we're fine. Just keep it in track limits there. But Limblad, he's looking keen. He wants his place back, especially on the medium tyres. He's going to be probably in a much better state than us at the moment. Moving on to lap 4 now. Nice big gaggle of cars up ahead. They're all battling down into turn 3, so we're going to use this as a chance to save the battery a little bit and put ourselves in a better position when we come to the back straight. All single file going through a nice big lift and close, and absolutely floor it on the exit. Get on the battery nice and early. Build up that momentum. Slipstream from Colapinto. We pull to the inside and we make the move happen. He's still alongside, and we go alongside Bearman as well. So 2 overtakes in 1 straight. Colapinto still looking
2 cars in one
outside,
go. Great job.
we make
Really
it like a little
impressive.
bit deep just to make sure we get the move done. And Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Up into 12th place, and we're looking very good in this race so far, especially on the hard tyres. Coming towards the end of lap 5 now, start of lap 6, and we're still in a really good position here. We're keeping up with the guys in front, and they're going to go 3 wide on the main straight. Hamilton, obviously very low on battery here, and we get right up his trumpet. Floor it on the exit, bit of battery. He's trying to make a move on Hadjar, and I'm not having any of that. Don't want any of that nonsense right there. We'll save a little bit of battery, still side by side, and we're going to capitalise on the slow exit from Hamilton there, and we move up into 11th place. Crazy start. Never expected to be overtaking a Ferrari on track anyway. But hey, this is the new era of Aston Martin, so let's go. Hadjar very vulnerable as well on the back straight, and even with no battery, we're going to pull alongside him in the slipstream of Ocon and force him to the inside a little bit so we can take the apex. And lovely move there.
Nice
Going
move.
really
Good
well
job.
in this one, lads. And just checking behind us to see if Hadjar's going to make another move, but he's not close enough. He's battling with Hamilton, actually. It's intense stuff in the early stages of this Australian Grand Prix. And now we just need to stay in the overtake of Esteban Ocon, and we do that just, I think.
There are 22
Really
laps
shocking
of
exit
fuel
there on that
remaining.
final corner, but yes, we do stay in the overtake. Very valuable lap. End of lap 7, start of lap 8, in the exact same position. Our teammate actually decides to box
Fernando's in the
there.
pits.
So soft tyres only lasted 7 laps for him as we pick up our first warning of the race, which I'm not going to lie, pretty good for me. But settle into this race quite nicely. It's going a lot better than expected. Already in the top 10, obviously due to pit stops and that, but halfway through lap 10 now, we are on the back of Esteban Ocon, a nicely full battery here. So we're going to deploy it. We're going to try and overtake the Frenchman on the back straight. Still burning. His lights flashing, and it's an easy overtake just before a yellow flag, actually. So that's great timing for us. Putting up a purple middle sector in the time being, and safety car. And that's Leclerc. Leclerc is out of the session. Virtual safety car deployed, and let's have a little look at what's going on here. So Leclerc must be an engine problem or something. He takes out, I think that's Antonelli. His front wing has just blown off, and he pulls over to the side of the track, and wow, the Ferrari out. Crazy start. So up to P8 now, and the full safety car deployed. So wow, what do we do now, guys? Do we box? Do we stay out? Surely we've got a box now. No, we've still got 2 sets of the mediums, which is good, but it's not the one stopping. I was seriously considering staying out here, but you got to be on the right tyres at the right time, as Martin would say. So we pull into the pit lane, judge the speed limit perfectly, So yeah, Antonelli with a 10-second penalty there. That's crazy. Crazy stuff from him. A good pit stop from the boys. A little bit of a late release, but it's fine. P7 now. Wow, so we've managed to gain a place in the pits. Lovely stuff. It's an absolute dream start for the Aston Martin boys down under. Could this day possibly get any better? So just under the safety car now, I just thought I'd check the little race director, see what's going on, who's pitted, who's not. And Lewis Hamilton, still on the hard tyres, not pitted. So our P7 could be turned into a P6 real quick. Everyone else is stopped by the looks of it. Apart from Leclerc, obviously, he's out of the race. Russell on the soft tyres, so he's definitely going to have to pit again. And yeah, Antonelli with that 10-second penalty. Crazy stuff in this Australian Grand Prix. End of lap 11 now, and safety car is in this lap. Tyres not quite up to temperature, but good enough for now. Seems like the leaders have gone a little bit early. Try and get the boost down as soon as possible. It looks like we've caught Albon napping here. We feint to the inside, go to the outside, and easy overtake on the Williams. Lovely stuff. P6 now in this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen up ahead, next on the list. Can we keep Albon behind? Yeah, easy work, easy work. Hamilton with a massive slide on his old tyres. He's going to be holding up the train now. So let's see if we can capitalise on that. Because we all know that Hamilton's going to be slow over these next few laps. Nice little lift and coast into the fast right-hander. Good exit, straight on the boost, and Verstappen's look really slow. We're gaining, go to the outside. Lose a little bit of momentum, but Piastri goes past Hamilton. Verstappen goes past Hamilton. We go past Hamilton. Squeeze into the inside, just like earlier in the race. A good exit. Keeping the momentum up. We're looking to launch an attack on Verstappen. We feint to the inside, go to the outside. Can we hold it? Not quite. Verstappen with a better traction. And now we just tuck in behind him, look to get the overtake and see if we can progress any more in this race. 5th place from 18th on the grid in an Aston Martin in the first race of the season. Incredible stuff. Never thought I'd be saying that. And it could get even better here. Verstappen's slow on the main straight. We feint to the inside again. We go to the outside and we lunge it. And we take him into the first corner. Incredible scenes here in Melbourne. Now will Verstappen get us back down to turn 3? Doesn't look like it. And we keep the position. Incredible stuff. P4 now on lap 13. Amazing.
6 seconds.
It's the same lap then on the back straight. Verstappen looks like he's coming back. We haven't got that much battery to burn, but we don't really need to at this stage. We're in an absolutely amazing position. Verstappen looking up the inside, and he goes for a little lunge. Lovely stuff from Verstappen there. But we're not giving this up yet.
So
little boost to the battery. We go to the outside. Can we hold it this time around, or does Verstappen have the better of us again? And it's the latter. He's going to have the better. He's got the better car, better traction. And now, hopefully for himself, he can stay ahead. But P5, still absolutely amazing. We're not going to lose sleep over Verstappen overtaking us there. Now let's see if we can just take a breath and relax back into this race after the hectic safety car restart.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 3.1 seconds.
So start at lap 15 right now, and Verstappen has absolutely pulled away from me. Absolutely no way I'm keeping up with him. And now Alex Albon is interested in coming back at us. He looks down the inside, absolute lunge on it, a bit of Lyco from me, but he gets the job done into turn 3. We try and out-traction him, see if we can get him back, but nothing's doing just yet. Let's just sit back and be patient.
"14 laps of fuel left. 14 laps.
14 laps of fuel left. Not looking ideal on the fuel. We'll have to do a little bit more Lyco. Into the fast left right. Onto the boost a bit early, and back end steps out, which leaves us very vulnerable to Esteban Ocon from behind. He's looking for it. We defend to the inside, make him go to the outside, and it's all right. We got him covered. Really need to try and stay in the overtake window of Albon now, but we go a little bit wide and we have to lift off so we don't get a warning. And we're outside of the 1 second to Albon.
Nice
So now
work.
we're going to be
That's why I love working
really
with you.
exposed to Esteban
Smashed it.
Ocon and Isaac Hadjar from behind. But we have a decent run onto the start-finish straight, little burst of battery. Ocon's approaching slowly, but nothing doing into turn 1. Good defensive drive from ourselves there. A little bit of a wobble on the exit of turn 1. Ocon is looking hungry now. He's going towards the outside. Is he going to lunge it? He is. Ooh, little tap from ourselves, but not too bad. And we keep the position. Moving on to the back straight now. We've completely run out of battery from all the squabbling we've been doing. Ocon and Hadjar having a ding-dong behind as well. Hadjar with immense overspeed goes around the outside. We bounce over the curb a little bit, which puts us off. And Esteban Ocon is absolutely on our tail again. We're completely out of battery. So vulnerable right now. And Ocon lunges around the outside, but we hold him off yet again. Now we need to look to stay within the overtake of Isaac Hadjar. And we do it this time. But we go really deep into the penultimate corner. Ocon goes down the inside, but we hold him once again. He's still there, but we cover him off nicely. We burn the rest of the battery down the main straight. George Russell in the pits for his last pit stop onto the hard tyres. And yeah, P6 in this race still. Good stuff, 12 laps to go. Halfway through lap 17 now and on the back straight. We're still out of battery. Ocon is hungry for 6th place and he's putting the pressure on. What's he going to do? He's going to go inside, he's going to go outside. He goes down the inside, but we hold it. Compromised line into the right-hander, so he's probably going to have a better run. We've still got really low battery, so we're going to try and defend this. We don't make a move to the inside this time, but we go deep. And we're compromised, and Ocon tries it down the inside. Will he get it? And he does. He makes it stick this time. Great stuff from the Frenchman. At least we'll have the overtake now. A little bit squirrely in the last corner. And you can see the amount of time that Ocon's gained on us. Our tyres must be screaming right now. Moving on to lap 20, and George Russell, who has been in the pits, has overtaken us, and we're up in P3 due to pit stops, but now is the lap that we pit. Going on to our final set of medium tyres. We judge the braking point pretty good again. So we go into the pits in P3. I wonder where we can come out. Good stop from the boys, is it? Lovely,
right,
2.4. That's what we love to see.
That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
Now we will be racing on the exit. Can we do it?
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
P12. Not too bad. And we come out of the pits just in front of our teammate, who's also doing a really good job in this Melbourne Grand Prix. 12th place for us, 13th for Alonso. Behrman goes around the outside of Alonso. Can Alonso hold it? No, he can't. Yes, he can. Amazing job from the Aston Martin. Now, hopefully he can do a job for us and hold back Behrman while we just streak away and try and catch up to Esteban Ocon. Moving on to the end of lap 21 now, and we got our second track limits warning, so you have to be really careful for the rest of this race now. Going onto the pit straight. Got 2 cars in the pit lane, Carlos Sainz and Gabriel Bortoleto.
Okay,
we
we've
will
got
beat them
7
out.
laps
So
worth of fuel remaining.
currently 1 championship point for Aston Martin. If the race finished like this right now, wow, be amazing start to the season. So the race has started to die down slightly now, coming on towards the end of lap 24. Green first sector, purple middle sector, so I'm guessing we're going for a fastest lap here. Not holding out much hope, but you never know the way this race has gone. Can we do it? No, not quite. A 120.4.
Gap to your
Good lap though,
teammate
not
behind,
too bad.
8.2
Only about
seconds.
half a second off what we got in qualifying, so decent stuff. Moving on to the end of lap 27 now. About 2 laps left of this race, and Franco Colapinto in the Alpine has caught up to us. So he's going to make it a showdown for the final championship point in these last 2 laps. We are going to defend
you're catching the
our
car ahead, but
absolute
remember,
lives
we need to
here.
get to the end
This
of the
point
race
is
on
going to
these
mean
tyres.
so much to us on debut here. But Franco is looking feisty. We've got no battery left. Is he going to make a lunge for it? No, he's not. We hold the position for now, but he's still there. All we need to do now is keep it clean, keep it tidy, defend the inside. Like we should be all right. And all right we are, moving towards the final lap of the Albert Park Melbourne Australian Grand Prix in the Aston Martin, currently holding on to a really valuable one championship point
nice
here.
work. Really
He
good
goes
job
to
with
the
that target,
inside.
mate. Okay, so we're leading
No,
our
nothing
teammate
doing there
by
for Franco Colapinto. He's going to
11.9
have to
seconds.
pick and choose his moment because our Aston Martin is about the width of 20 London buses right now. Nothing doing for him into turn 3. Nice and steady on the traction. We want to save our battery. We don't want to burn up the tyres anymore. Franco is right behind us and he is waiting to pounce. So coming onto the back straight for the final time this afternoon, and we are burning everything to see if we can stay ahead of the Argentine. Can he do anything into the fast left-right? Doesn't look like it. He's half a second behind. We take it nice and steady through there. We don't want to get any track limit warnings anymore. Burning everything we've got. Franco, is he going to give it one last chance? We're so distracted. We nearly go into the wall on the left-hand side, but nothing doing. It's looking like we are going to claim our first point of the season in the season opener. Incredible start to the season. It's looking like good traction out the final corner onto the battery, and Franco, there's nothing he's going to do, and we are going to claim our first point of the season. Incredible scenes.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
And to get a victory at the first race of the season, this might be a sign of things to come. One thing's for sure is that this performance will be giving the team and the driver relief and confidence going into the rest of the season.
There's room for 3 on their podium, but only ever 1 right at the top. Let the celebrations begin. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So Lando Norris starts off the F1 26 career mode with a win for McLaren. We get the final point for Aston Martin. Amazing start. Fernando Alonso down in 15th. Not a bad race from him, but we've brought a point home. Great stuff. I'm so happy with that. Not sure we're going to be able to replicate that in China, but I mean, we'll try. But yeah, hopefully we haven't peaked too early in this season. That's what I'm trying to say. But thank you all so much for joining me in this first episode of the F1 26 career mode with Aston Martin. And if you want to see any more F1 26 DLC content from myself, then please click on the screen right now. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in China. Cheers.